Well, it is very hard.
Rosamond, you're addressing your mother, not the committee of the Women's Institute.
Just when you thought the Crawleys were saying their final goodbyes, it's been confirmed that Julian Fellowes is bringing us a third Downton Abbey film. Most of the cast is set to return for this next chapter, with a new era director Simon Curtis once again leading the way. But fans will have to be patient. The movie won't be hitting theaters until September 12th, 2025, and here's everything we know about it. Since its debut in 2010, Downton Abbey has captivated audiences with its intricate storytelling, chronicling the lives of the aristocratic Crawley family and their dedicated household staff from 1911 to 1925. Unlike many period dramas of its time, Downton gave equal attention to the upstairs and downstairs dynamics, making it a worldwide sensation. The show not only launched the careers of stars like Lily James, Dan Stevens, and Michelle Dockery, but also cemented national treasures such as Maggie Smith, Jim Carter, and Hugh Bonneville as household names. The first Downton Abbey film, released in 2019, picked up in 1927, following the family as they prepared for a royal visit while also dealing with an assassination attempt on the king. The sequel, A New Era, arrived in 2022 and largely took place in the south of France, weaving in new adventures for the Crawleys and their loyal staff. Now, with the third installment on the way, fans are eager to see what's next for the beloved characters. So, who's coming back for Downton Abbey 3? Fortunately, most of the familiar faces will be returning. Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Alan Leach, Penelope Wilton, Leslie Nichol, Michael Fox, Raquel Cassidy, Brendan Coyle, Kevin Doyle, Harry Haddon-Payton, Sophie McShara, and Douglas Reith are all confirmed. Dominic West, who joined the second film, is also making a return. However, there will be some notable absences. Maggie Smith's Lady Violet is no longer with us, meaning her character won't appear unless in flashbacks. Imelda Staunton has also ruled out reprising her role as Lady Maud. Additionally, Matthew Goode and Tuppence Middleton are missing from the announced cast list, leaving their storylines uncertain. There will also be fresh faces joining the mix. Paul Giamatti, Jolie Richardson, Alessandro Nivola, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Frushan have been confirmed. Giamatti is particularly exciting for longtime fans, as he previously appeared in the series as Cora's brother, Harold Levinson. Plot details remain largely under wraps, but it's expected that the story will pick up where A New Era left off. Dominic West's character, actor Guy Dexter, was last seen heading off with butler Thomas Barrow, so we may see how their relationship unfolds. Meanwhile, Lady Mary's marriage to Henry Talbot was already on shaky ground, and his continued absence hints at a possible divorce or separation. The family will also be adjusting to life without their formidable matriarch, Lady Violet, and with time passing, we could see some of the younger Crawley children stepping into more prominent roles. One of the most intriguing aspects of the new film is its setting in the 1930s, a decade of economic hardship, political upheaval, and the looming threat of another world war. With Britain still feeling the effects of the 1929 Wall Street crash, Downton Abbey may explore how these financial struggles impact the estate and its staff. Meanwhile, the rise of fascism across Europe, particularly in Nazi Germany, would cast a long shadow, potentially shaping the choices of characters like Tom Branson, who has always had progressive political leanings. If the film chooses to incorporate historical events such as King George VI and Queen Elizabeth's royal visit in 1939, or the early preparations for war, it could provide a poignant farewell, marking both the end of an era and the beginning of an uncertain future. If Downton Abbey incorporates the Great Depression, they'll need to be meticulous with historical accuracy, especially when it comes to location, props, and everyday details. The economic downturn hit different parts of the world in different ways, and Britain's experience wasn't identical to that of the U.S. While the Wall Street crash of 1929 had ripple effects, the UK's economy had already been struggling since the 1920s, particularly in industries like coal mining and textiles. To get it right, the filmmakers would need to ensure that sets, costumes, and even small background details accurately reflect the financial struggles of the time. For example, subtle changes like worn-down fabrics, fewer extravagant dinner parties, or a shift in how the servants are treated could illustrate the impact of the era without overt exposition. Even details like newspapers on a table, rationing of certain goods, or conversations about financial strain would add authenticity. It's a fine balance, staying true to history while keeping the signature Downton Abbey elegance intact. But if done well, incorporating the Great Depression could add real depth to the story, showing how even the Crawleys, with all their privilege, couldn't completely escape the changing world around them. Another crucial aspect to consider is how Downton Abbey III portrays the shifting class dynamics during the 1930s. The Great Depression accelerated the decline of the British aristocracy, forcing many grand estates to sell off land, reduce their household staff, or even open their homes to the public to stay financially afloat. While Downton has weathered financial troubles before, this time the crisis could hit even closer to home. Perhaps Lady Mary, who has taken on more responsibility in running the estate, must make difficult decisions about downsizing or modernizing, creating tension among the family and staff. For the downstairs crew, the economic downturn could mean job insecurity. Longtime servants like Mr. Carson, Mrs. Hughes, and Daisy might have to confront the reality that their way of life is fading. Maybe some younger staff members seek employment elsewhere, realizing that service work is no longer a stable career. Thomas Barrow, who finally found happiness with Guy Dexter in a new era, might struggle with the uncertainty of his new life, as the entertainment industry isn't immune to financial hardship either. Meanwhile, the rise of fascism in Europe looms in the background, adding another layer of tension. With Hitler consolidating power in Germany and political unrest spreading, characters like Tom Branson, who has always been politically aware, could be deeply concerned about what's happening beyond Downton's gates. With all these elements coming together, Downton Abbey III is shaping up to be an emotional and fitting send-off for the Crawley family. Fans can expect a mix of nostalgia, historical intrigue, and heartfelt goodbyes as the franchise wraps up its long and beloved run. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to stay in the loop with all the latest movie and series news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a big thumbs up, because I'll be dropping more updates about the Downton Abbey franchise soon, along with news of some of your other favorite series and movies. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.